When we were in school, the solar system was a tidy place. We learned the names of the planets like a chant, a rhythmic certainty that defined our place in the cosmos. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. It was a perfect family, a map that felt complete. We looked at the posters on our classroom walls and assumed that we had found everything there was to find in our own backyard. But in 2006, that map was redrawn. Pluto was demoted, stripped of its planetary status, and reclassified as a dwarf planet. For many, this felt like a loss. It felt like our neighborhood had gotten smaller, less magical. But what if I told you that while we were mourning the loss of a tiny ball of ice, we were missing something much, much bigger, hiding in the dark? For the last decade, evidence has been mounting that there is indeed a ninth planet. But this is not a small icy rock like Pluto. The mathematics suggests a giant, a world 10 times the mass of Earth, lurking so far away that it takes up to 20,000 years to complete a single orbit around the Sun. It is a ghost. We can feel its gravity pulling on the outer edges of our system, twisting the orbits of distant worlds, but we have never seen its face. This is the story of the hunt for Planet 9. We are about to embark on the greatest detective story in modern astronomy. But before we journey into the frozen darkness of the Kuiper Belt to hunt this ghost, if you enjoy exploring the hidden mysteries of our solar system, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. It supports our mission to map the cosmos, one video at a time. To understand why astronomers are so convinced this ghost exists, we have to look back at history. This isn't the first time math has predicted a world before eyes have seen it. In the early 19th century, astronomers noticed something wrong with the orbit of Uranus. It wasn't moving the way Newton's law said it should. It was speeding up and slowing down unexpectedly, as if an invisible hand were tugging on it. A French mathematician named Urbain Le Verrier sat down with a pen and paper and realized that Uranus wasn't misbehaving, it was being pulled. He calculated that there must be another massive planet further out. He sent his coordinates to an observatory in Berlin. They pointed their telescope at the exact spot Leverrier predicted, and there, within a single degree of his math, they found Neptune. Neptune was discovered by math, not by luck. However, we must be careful. History also has a warning for us. In the early 1900s, Percival Lowell hunted for a planet X to explain errors in Neptune's orbit. He searched until he died, never finding it. It turned out the errors were just bad data from old telescopes. When Voyager 2 flew past Neptune in 1989, it corrected the mass estimates and the need for Planet X vanished. So why is Planet 9 different? Why aren't we just chasing ghosts like Percival Lowell? Because the clue this time isn't a tiny error in a planet's orbit. It is the architecture of the entire outer solar system. The clue lies in the Kuiper Belt, a vast ring of icy debris beyond Neptune. It is the home of Pluto, Eris, and thousands of other frozen worlds. For a long time, we thought these objects drifted randomly. But in the early 2000s, as we discovered more of them, we noticed a strange, haunting pattern. Imagine looking down at the solar system like a giant clock face. You would expect the orbits of these distant, extreme objects to point in all random directions, some at 12 o'clock, some at 3, some at 9. Randomness is the fingerprint of nature, but that's not what we see. The most distant, extreme objects in the Kuiper Belt, worlds with names like Sidna, the Goblin, and Biden are all swinging out in the same direction. Their orbits are clustered together physically in space. Even stranger, they are all tilted at the same specific angle relative to the plane of the solar system. The probability of this happening by chance is microscopic. It is about 1 in 500. It would be like scattering a deck of cards on the floor and having them all land face up pointing north. That doesn't happen by accident. It happens because something pushed them. In 2016, Caltech astronomers Konstantin Batygin and Mike Brown, ironically, the man who wrote the book How I Killed Pluto, ran the computer simulations. They found that the only thing that could herd these icy worlds into such a tight formation was the gravity of a massive unseen planet, a gravitational shepherd keeping the flock in line. But the evidence gets even weirder. The simulations predicted that if Planet 9 existed, it wouldn't just cluster objects horizontally, it would also twist some objects so violently that they would orbit perpendicular to the solar system at a 90-degree angle. At the time, we didn't know of any such objects, but shortly after the prediction, astronomers found objects like Niku and Drak, which orbit almost exactly at 90 degrees. The planet was predicting reality. So, where did this monster come from? This leads us to the origin story of Planet 9. A planet 10 times the mass of Earth doesn't just form 500 times further out than the Earth. There isn't enough gas and dust out there to build a giant. This suggests that Planet 9 is an exile, a lost sibling. Computer models of the early solar system suggest that we didn't just start with four gas giants Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. We likely had five. In the chaotic billiards game of the early solar system, as Jupiter migrated inward and outward, its massive gravity acted like a slingshot. It likely caught this fifth giant and kicked it violently outward. Usually, a planet kicked by Jupiter would be ejected entirely, becoming a rogue planet drifting between the stars. But perhaps, just perhaps, the sun's gravity held on by a thread, catching it in a massive, eccentric orbit at the very edge of the abyss. Planet 9 could be the long lost brother of Neptune, waiting in the dark to be welcomed home. So, if it is so big, why haven't we seen it? This is the most common question. We can see galaxies billions of light years away. Why can't we see a planet in our own backyard? The answer is the physics of light. Planets do not produce their own light, they only reflect the sun. Light has to travel all the way from the sun to planet 9, bounce off its surface, and then travel all the way back to Earth. Light intensity drops off with the square of the distance. By the time sunlight reaches planet 9, the sun is just a bright star. By the time that reflection gets back to us, it is millions of times fainter than Pluto. Planet 9 is estimated to orbit anywhere from 400 to 800 astronomical units away. It is so far that it moves incredibly slowly across the sky. Finding it is like trying to spot a single black beetle crawling on a piece of coal in the middle of the night while someone shines a flashlight in your eyes. Astronomers have been scanning the sky for years using the Subaru telescope in Hawaii and analyzing data from the WISE satellite. They are looking for a tiny, slow moving dot against the background of billions of stationary stars. It is a needle in a haystack, and the haystack is the entire southern sky, but the search is narrowing, and soon the game will change. In the mountains of Chile, a new eye is opening, the Vera C. Rubin Observatory. This massive telescope is designed to survey the entire available sky every few nights. It is essentially making a time-lapse movie of the universe. If Planet 9 is out there, the Vera Rubin Observatory has the best chance of catching it. It will illuminate the faint, dark corners of our solar system like never before. But there is an alternative theory, a darker, more exotic one. Some physicists have suggested that the reason we can't see Planet 9 is that it isn't a planet at all. They propose that the object tugging on the Kuiper belt might be a primordial black hole, not a stellar black hole formed from a dying star, but a tiny black hole formed in the first chaotic seconds of the Big Bang, an object with the mass of 5 Earths, but compressed into a sphere the size of a grapefruit. If this theory is true, we will never see it with a standard telescope. It would be invisible. We would only find it by seeing the light of background stars warp around its gravity, or perhaps by sending a fleet of tiny laser propelled probes like the Breakthrough Starshot concept to measure its gravitational field up close. While this theory is unlikely, and most astronomers bet on a planet, it highlights just how mysterious the outer solar system remains. Whether it is a frozen ice giant or a tiny black hole, one thing is certain: the architecture of our solar system is incomplete. For centuries, we thought we had mapped our home. We thought we knew every room in the house. But it turns out there is a massive dark attic that we haven't explored yet, and something is moving up there. The discovery of Planet 9 would be the astronomical event of the century. It would change our understanding of how solar systems form. It would give us a new world to dream about, a new destination for the robotic explorers of the future. It would complete the family portrait that was shattered when Pluto was demoted. We are living in a rare moment in history, the quiet tension before a discovery. The math says it is there. The ghosts of the Kuiper Belt are pointing the way. Now we just have to open our eyes wide enough to see it. Thank you for joining me on this hunt for the ghost planet. If you found this story fascinating, let me know in the comments. Do you think Planet 9 is a planet or something else entirely? And don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon so you're notified of our next deep dive into the universe. Until next time, keep looking up